Konnichiwa, Erin desu. In this episode of Nihon New York, we're going to interview blogger, interpreter, stormtrooper cosplayer Danny Choo. Danny resides in Tokyo and he works on spreading Japanese culture to the world using a variety of media which includes the web, TV, and his merchandise. So let's go! Ikimashou!
So blogging, so I started the website in the year 2000, and I'd done that basically because I was working in the internet as a place for me to experiment with lots of like web technologies. And the content I used was like photos which I took at the time, photos and graphics which I made from using 3D software. And then blogging I started in 2004. Most of it started off with Gundam. So Gundam is this, it's a vehicle, I guess. It's not a robot, it's like a very large humanoid vehicle. And I started writing lots about Gundam, and so my website was very search engine optimized at the time. And whenever you've done a search on particular topics which I wrote about, I made it in such a way so that people would arrive at my website first. And it's still very optimized today as well, which is where I get lots of my new readers from, basically. The idea was basically for me to just share things which I like, basically. So live in Japan, I share like my daily life, my hobbies, and so on and so on. So I just like sharing stuff. I think that, I mean, I do get told this very often, why isn't a Japanese person? I think if it's a Japanese person promoting Japanese culture, it ends up sounding a bit, in Japanese, is, I don't know, maybe yarashi. It just sounds a bit too blatant. Hey, look, our culture is like so cool and stuff like that. So it ends up sounding a little bit odd. So I think that as a foreigner, even though I have like readers who are like white, black, Chinese, Asian, whatever, because I'm a foreigner, it automatically puts me in a position, I guess, where people can immediately relate to me because I'm a foreigner, just like them when compared to folks in Japan, basically. So there are lots of companies who try to do that. There are companies who, they say, yeah, sure, we need to go global, but they don't really do anything about it. So I think more effort can be put into it. I think one example is that, so I like Korean culture as well. I speak Korean, read and write Korean. And I have like many Korean readers who also love Japanese pop culture. So the thing with Korean culture is that, let's say the record labels, they would like upload the full HD video of like particular songs which like users can like share. And one recent example was the Gangnam Style. Okay, and that was #1 in like 10 countries like around the world, including the UK. I think it got very high in the US charts as well. And I think that definitely comes about from users like sharing this video. Hey, look at this video, it's like really cool. But in Japan, if they make a cool video, there's like no to share it. There's like no way to share it because they just don't upload it. Or if they do upload it and someone else tries to upload it to their account to share it, they delete it basically. And I've seen cases whereby like folks, they like a Japanese group and they make a fan page, and then the record label contacts them and says, hey, just delete that fan page. So they're very protective of their content, and I don't see any effort at all trying to like share, just share the culture basically. So it's very short term, very short-term thinking, just care about the cash right now. They don't care about the long-term, basically. But that's not all Japanese companies are like that. There are some other great companies like Good Smile Company. So they have a booth here at ComicCon, and they attend many of the events worldwide, which I attend as well. There's like a trading card game company, Bushiroad. So there are lots of companies out there who are like the pioneers of like spreading Japanese culture products around the world. So I think more of that could be happening. So in writing a blog, it's a lonely road, and I thought that it would be less lonely if I had a companion on the website who could help me spread Japanese culture. And she does that a lot, actually. So I've got a TV show called Culture Japan. She does the narration on the TV show. I've got these like Japanese learning products. She helps people like learn Japanese, and so on and so on. So she first started off as a mascot on the website in, I think, about 2007. And she was just like one illustration, just sitting in a corner. And just from that alone, she started gaining like fan base around the world, basically. And we released a figure of her. I think that was in 2009. And many people bought the figure. And it made me realize that I should be like paying more attention to her because she's been like helping me so much. So then I started to be very aggressive in spending my time and resources in marketing her brand. So one of the important things is collaborations. So collaborating with like lots of different companies in Japan that produce anime and products, games, and so on and so on. So she's been in quite a few anime titles as well. So the story came later on, actually. It's about time travel, it's a science fiction, and has lots of elements of Japanese culture in there as well. So it's been a long time working on the development, because my company has basically been, up until this year, just a one-man band, basically. And it's been very difficult to split my time into doing like many different things. But this year, I have been able to like spend more time on the Mirai Millennium story, and I'm working with a few very popular Japanese writers in Japan to flesh out the story, the scenario, which can then be spun off into like light novels, anime, manga, games, and the ultimate goal is Hollywood, basically. So I've always wanted to. What's my favorite card? Well, they're all my favorite cards. I'll choose one of my favorite cards. I'll choose this one over here. I'm Fuji. Yeah, let's go. So I've always wanted to like make Japanese learning so much more fun. It's really done a lot for my life and career. And I think it's very important for people who are interested in Japanese culture to learn the language, because Japanese is the easiest language to learn in the entire world. And the reason is because you can look up words in a dictionary just by listening to a word. So if you hear the word like anata, you can like look it up instantly, ANATA, and you'll get the result. Or if, like English, if you hear phone, if you don't know the spelling, you just can't look it up, right? Is it FONE, or is it, it could be anything really. So that's one great thing about Japanese. It's very easy to study, and it's a very interesting language, and they have like words for absolutely everything, and it makes it so there's a word for. It sounds vulgar, but no, hold on. Okay, I'm going to use it as an example. Nigirippe. So nigirippe is a word, is a compound word, which means to break wind in your palm and hold it like this, and you keep the gases inside like that. But you can't hold it in for too long, otherwise it'll seep into your skin and cause a mutation. So they've got fantastic words like that, which is I find like very, very interesting. So it's a great language to learn. So I think I do want to continue to spread Japanese culture. I think it's the things I spread and share. It's basically things which I'm interested in. So most of it is Japanese culture, but then there are things like gadgets, or I do like visiting many different countries around the world and like sharing photos from my trip, basically. And I think many people relate to myself because I'm very open with my daily life, I guess. So I do want to continue to do that. And so my company has like a few pillars. There's the language learning products. There's a TV production. And one more is going to be doll related, basically. So I can't go into too much details right now, but in a couple of years' time, the population of people walking around with dolls, including grown men, is going to increase a lot, I think. So.